Hey, you guys, it's Tuesday, and look, I have a jacket on.
Yeah, it's cold today.
Guess what? I woke up this morning, it was 43 degrees.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
is
cooking
crazy.
another turkey, too.
Yeah, it smells really good at the house. I can't get enough of turkey.
Got a turkey for $4. You think I'm gonna walk away from a turkey for $4? No, we're gonna have turkey again.
Well, that's okay with
sick
me.
of turkey, but I'm gonna eat it anyway.
I'm not sick of turkey. I never get sick of turkey. Well, because I don't even think I've had, because we didn't really have any good bread, so I don't even think I've had a turkey sandwich this
I got
year.
brand new rolls baked up from me last night.
Nice. All right.
Sitting in
so
there. They're in a Ziploc bag.
I'm gonna have like a whole bunch of like little turkey sliders.
Turkey
I'm gonna make like a whole big plate of them.
Yeah.
Because I haven't eaten for like 9 hours.
Got new
like
stuffing
really
and
hungry.
everything coming out.
Well, shit. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were gonna like go whole hog on
I
this
thought that stuffing I made and I put that in the new turkey. So we have, and I still got old stuffing left, but it doesn't matter.
We have so much food in this fucking house, you guys. It's like not even funny.
It's all cornbread stuffing.
But yeah, it's like December 1st, so it's like actually
Southern shit, man.
It's So it's actually like fucking winter in Florida. I couldn't.
And I made
like
some new cranberry sauce.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday. You missed that, I think.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah. You missed it.
I don't know what I was doing. Well,
I just wanted to get ahead.
Probably.
I knew I was gonna do another turkey today, so I didn't want to sit around and fuck around making all that little shit. So I did that yesterday.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
All the prep stuff, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chow down on that after this.
I gotta make
like
gravy though, but I have old gravy.
Yeah, and I'm
calling it old. It's like 4 days.
Yeah, so it was just from the other day.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, I'll probably just have like sandwiches. I don't like need the whole.
You don't like gravy on a sandwich?
No.
I put gravy in.
Well, no, because it makes the bread all soggy.
No, I do it right. I put gravy, stuffing, and cranberry on the fucking sandwich.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I don't want gravy on the sandwich. Okay. I don't mind a little bit of stuffing on there, but let's make it like a little bit of mayo and then like salt and pepper. I don't want gravy on there.
Just put enough gravy on top of the dressing. It kind of mostly absorbs in there, like mayo.
Yeah.
And then never mind.
I know.
I'm sitting here telling everybody how. See everybody's doing.
Hey, everybody. So,
Roger's in there, Mango's out there, Karin, Tammy, everybody's here.
Everybody's here.
Yeah.
Listening
Louie's here.
Yeah. So we actually ended up watching, we were just gonna do one movie today, but we ended up watching 2 last night for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because the weird thing is that there was a new one on Netflix that I wanted to watch, which is that new Spanish movie, Don't Listen. So we watched that, and then you sprung it on me that you're like, oh hey, I have Amazon Prime. And
I forgot about that. I had that. I
he forgot that he had it. Didn't somebody, was it Mango that recommended a movie back from 2012, like a horror comedy? So we watched that as well.
I had Amazon Prime going back a couple months. I was just shopping with it.
Oh, okay.
And I found out that all I got to do is download the damn Amazon Prime Video.
Your app on the Xbox.
For the TV.
Just like we have for Hulu and everything.
There you go. And then I can watch all these fucking movies for free. A lot of them. They had good prices.
Yeah.
For the shit but they got Gemini Man on there. We missed that one.
Yeah, we didn't see that.
They got fucking Terminator Woke Fate's in it. Fucking, I call it Woke Fate. What's it really called? Dark Fate. And then they got the Doctor Sleep. They got the fucking director's cut. Director's cut for fucking Rambo, the new Rambo, or Rambo. What's it called? Rambo.
Last Blood.
Yeah, Rambo Mexico. That's what it's called when he goes to Mexico. We call it Rambo.
It would have been funny if this was Last Blood. If the one before this had been called Penultimate Blood, that would have been like really hilarious. I would have
called it Last Blood, anyway. But they never really did. He really die? I don't think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Rambo actually dies at the end of it.
He can't die. He's like Jason Voorhees.
Sure.
Well, look what they did with the fucking Friday the 13th movies. It's like it's the last one. It's the final chapter for. Yeah. Oh, so never mind. No, it's not.
Yeah. So Mango recommended a movie. He said it was kind of like. Said it was kind of like The Frighteners. I see where he's coming from, where it's kind of like The Frighteners, but no, not really.
You know what it reminded me most strongly of? It actually reminded me of, do you remember that movie House from 1986?
A little bit.
Which we should probably review like one of these days, because I really like that movie. With I think William Katt was in it.
Are we going to talk about this movie first?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll talk about this one first. I can see the idea is kind of like Frighteners and kind of like House,
yeah.
But visually and tonally, it was very different. Frighteners and House were definitely period movies of the time. They were excuse me, not period movies, but they were movies of the period. Which is 80s and 90s, and they kind of had a Spielbergian feel to them. This one doesn't. This one, to me, it didn't have a whole lot of a tone. Didn't really have a distinct tone. A lot of the new movies feel this way to me. You know, they're not really cinema, in my opinion. Just saying. They just don't feel like
it seemed fairly low budget.
Yeah.
That said, it's like it's definitely more comedy than horror.
Yeah.
It's not like scary in the slightest. It did have like some good gags in it, particularly like in the first half. I think the first half was funnier than the second half.
It's mostly gags, laugh a minute, kind of like it's trying to be a little bit more like Airplane, like that series, or Naked Gun, a horror version of it. But the edit, to me, the problem was it had a very ponderous edit. And you sometimes forget what the story was because they kept sidetracking with these little gags. That's why it kind of felt to me.
Yeah. The only gag that I think went on too long was the one with the poison brownies, like the brownies that had like the sleeping pills in it, that was like, and it was, everybody was eating them like in the real estate office, and like they were all kind of, so it's like, so people probably like not know what we're talking about. So what this movie is about, it came out back in 2012. I'd never actually heard of it. Mango in the comments had actually recommended it to Tom, I guess, because it's on Amazon Prime. So he said, "Oh, I have Amazon Prime." So
it was free, so yeah.
So we went ahead and watched it.
Yeah.
And so it's about this guy whose name is Richard Scarry, just like the children's book author, which I thought was kind of funny because I know who that is. But like the big joke in the movie was like nobody knows the fuck that is. But so he's a real estate agent, and him and his partner get sold this kind of fixer-upper sort of house by their colleague, who's kind of a twant. And like she was just trying to get rid of it. And it ends up that it's like super, super haunted because it used to belong to this serial killer called, what was he called? The Sleep Stalker or something like that, because he said that he would like kill people in his sleep and he didn't remember and stuff. And so the house is haunted by like 12 ghosts, and the ghosts are his victims, and they really don't waste any time in like making their presence. So like so there's a lot of Amityville horror gags in this, like with the flies, the toilet, like black shit coming out of the toilet, like the bleeding walls, like that kind of stuff. So there's all that kind of stuff in there. Have to say, I think the highlight of the movie for me was Barry Bostwick playing the priest that comes to do the exorcism, because he just like leaned into it, and it was like fucking hilarious.
This kind of reminded me of the Exorcist on an Airplane movie that we saw.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. Come on.
You think so? That one was pretty bad. It's okay. The movie isn't bad. I think a lot of it needed to be trimmed out. It needed to be a little more streamlined. It didn't go from point A to point B directly. It didn't really it wasn't like a ride. That was the thing about Frighteners and say like Back to the Future. There's a certain speed at which those movies go at. You know what I mean? There aren't any slow spots in it. They don't have a scenes filled with gags, like a scene just to have a gag. It's not really like that. The gags are kind of organic. They kind of happen as the story starts to unfold. Another thing is that this movie looks realistic in a way.
It's not like artistically shot or anything like that.
And you know, Back to the Future and Frighteners, they don't really look realistic. Just the colors that are selected, the color palette, just shot composition, and it's cinema, you know. It's drama. It's kind of stagey.
Well, it's like heightened reality.
Yeah, like a heightened reality. So it kind of has, you know what I mean? It has a different tone to it when you're going through it, and that's kind of what I look for. Another thing is that the type of movies that I'm talking about, they're kind of Spielbergian or something, or there's kind of like something out of Back to the Future. There was, even if the movie had dark elements in it, they were essentially very optimistic movies. There was a sense of optimism and moving forward in them. And this movie kind of lacks that. Even though some of the gags were funny, it did not feel optimistic. You know what I'm talking about?
Kinda. I mean, I didn't really get that. Like I said, I will agree with you that the editing was kind of slow, even though it's not a long movie. I think it was only like 96 minutes or something like that. A lot of the gags, particularly in the first half, were funny. Like, I liked a lot of the homages to, like, Amityville Horror. I loved Barry Bostwick's, character, him showing up. I liked that. Like, some of the funny shit, like, between... Richard and his partner, Richard and his mom, who was like dying of cancer, and she needed treatment, which was one of the reasons that he took on this house, even though he knew it was haunted. And his whole thing too was that for a real estate agent, they were making the joke that he was like too honest, because real estate agents, obviously are, who like to snow people, or just like fudge the truth a little bit, just like to try to sell you a house. And he's like too nice and too honest. So him knowing that the house is haunted and trying to sell the house while trying to not lie to anybody's faces, like, about how haunted the house is. And then, like, after a while, they just start leaning into the haunting, like, hoping that they'll find somebody that will want to buy the house. Like, that kind of shit was funny. Like I said, when it got to, like, the second half, I felt like it dragged a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it felt like they were kind of trying to, maybe pad the scenes out a little. Like that one scene that was in the office with everybody eating, like, the brownies that had the sleeping pills in them. It's like, I feel like that could have been, like, cut way down, because it's like that went on too long. And also I think the scene between him, like, being possessed by one of the spirits of the house or whatever, and then the ghost blog girl, like, them kind of like fighting, and it's like that probably could have been cut down a little bit too. Overall, I thought it was like it's not like hilarious, but it's like amusing. You know what I mean? It's the humor is like not. Some of it's like shades into wacky, but it's usually like it was kind of low key. I thought, like, a lot of the gags in it were kind of low key. It's not a bad movie, but I think it's just kind of 4 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Yeah, it was amusing. Yeah. It was an amusing movie. Like I said, it reminded me a lot of House from 1986. Yeah. Probably not quite as good as that. Well, because House was, like, crazy. That had, like, all kind of fucking crazy shit happening. This one was basically just ghosts and, like, an Amityville Horror homage type of thing. So it was funny, but, like, I don't think I'd ever watch it again, though. No. Tightening up the edit, adding a better score, I think probably would have been a lot better. Shot composition, lighting. It had to have kind of an unrealistic look and feel to it. The characters had to be kind of larger than life. Yeah, because I think that was one of the things that I liked about the Frighteners, particularly the shots that were set in that one house. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like where What's-Her-Face lived. Right. Where it looked like all gothic, and it was all kind of like... So that was like a really cool like look to it. Another thing about that type of movie from that era, there was something kind of corporate feeling about them. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And that didn't detract to it. For me, that added to it. That it kind of had a corporate feeling almost to it. There's just no... Yeah, I guess you had to come up at the time. Because that's the way everything kind of felt. It's the way the theaters felt. The kind of a corporate feel to them, And it just kind of went along. It's like you saw something as official. Well, you know I think that obviously because of the difference in, the budgets between, big studio movies and like indie movies was a lot more, the gulf was a lot wider than it is nowadays. Because like nowadays you can make a movie for really cheap and it looks really good. Great. Right, yeah. You couldn't really do that back then. Right. So I feel like there was a much larger distinction between, this is a big official, like you said, studio movie that had like millions of dollars behind it. And this was like an indie movie. Right, you know what I mean? That was kind of like grotty looking. Yeah. So that was kind of like that's probably the main difference. Yeah. This one, like I said, looked totally turd. I didn't mean to say turd. This one looked totally fine. I was trying to say like 2 words at once, and it came out funny. This one looked totally fine, but it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't artistically staged or anything like that. No. It was just like very workman-like looking. It's like not cheap, but. You know what's funny is I was looking at the Amazon Prime. They got Vivarium up there, right? Yeah. It gets like 2 out of 5 stars. Like that movie's fucking bombing. The motherfuckers don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're fucking looking at. Well, you know what? I've sometimes found, not always, but I've sometimes found that the best movies or the movies that I tend to like the best are ones that are either like love them or hate them. Yeah, nobody seems to like that movie. You know what I mean? Movie. I did too. Like I said, that was one of my favorite movies from last year. Really cool science fiction movie that was very unique. Yeah. Well, anytime you make something that's weird like that, you're gonna get people that'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, why did you do that? What does that mean?
You know
what
does
that mean? Yeah.
You know, you're gonna get that.
It's about child rearing.
Well, like I said,
that was the scary part of it.
It is kind of. Well, yeah. I mean, it's, you know, it has other things too, but it has like several layers.
Yeah, you got fucking aliens or like the Predator or some kind of fucking, and it's making you raise its baby.
Yeah. Like a cuckoo.
That is a trip, man. And okay, that's all I'm gonna say about
it. Well, yeah, because like I said, we've already reviewed that movie, and you talked about it on another review too. Yeah. But that went in the Kung Fu movie. And the Kung Fu movie. Yeah, you probably talked about Art of Self-Defense more than
yeah.
But yeah.
Those are masterpieces, the Jesse Eisenberg masterpieces.
Yeah.
You gotta have some shit about you to fucking appreciate masterpieces like that. Just something about those movies.
All right, so the other movie we actually watched The Selling second. We watched this one first, but it doesn't really matter, whatever. So this one was one that I had seen come up on a lot of review channels that I watch because Netflix just added it a couple days ago. This is a Spanish film. Now, the English title is Don't Listen, even though the Spanish title is Voces, or Voices, you know, obviously, which to me seems like a better name. I don't know if, I guess they called it Don't Listen over here because maybe they're trying to associate it with Don't Breathe, even though it's nothing to do with that movie. I don't know. But so this is a Spanish movie, and it's about this family, and the dad, Daniel, he's like a house flipper. So they bought like this creepy old house like out in the wilds of Spain somewhere, and they don't know this until later, but I guess in the town it's called like the House of the Voices, and they have this little boy who's 9 named Eric, and he says that he starts hearing voices, like people are like telling him to do things, or they're like talking through his radio and shit like that, and it gets like super creepy. And as it goes on, I don't really want to spoil too much about this one. Like I said, it's kind of your standard haunted house type of thing. Had some like Insidious kind of vibe to it, that type of shit. But I will say that 2 things that happened in this movie, one like pretty early in the film, and the other thing like at the end of the film, I did not expect them. So it kind of like it actually did a good job of like, you know, messing with my expectations. So I don't, your mileage may vary, maybe I'm just stupid and like I didn't, but I like the shit that happened, I didn't really see it coming. But I mean, it's a pretty standard like haunted house story. Like you get some bad shit happens, and then they have to bring in like the paranormal investigator and the paranormal investigator's daughter, and they're trying to like figure out, you know, oh yeah, what the fuck is going on in this house. And you know, it's got some jump scares and shit like that. It doesn't really rely on them. But I really, really liked like the atmosphere of this one. And even though like at first I was like, well, it's a little bit slow, but I kind of like, you know, how it's going. And I like some of the imagery that they had, because like the old house was super creepy and all this other kind of shit. They also had some flies in this one too, now that I'm thinking about it. But so I really liked the way it was going. And then it seemed like as it went on, it seemed like it got better and better. Like it got creepier and creepier like as it went on, which I thought was cool, because sometimes like, you know, horror movies like this will kind of like lose steam toward the end. But I thought it actually got better as it went on, because the story kind of got deeper. And then like at the very, very end, it went like in a direction that I totally wasn't expecting. It's possible too that they could be setting up, I don't know if they're going to set up like another movie, or they're trying to do like a Conjuring universe type of thing with this paranormal investigator guy who was now, didn't it say you said in the credits that it was Cesar Romero?
Yeah. And
I was like, is it that Cesar Romero?
I didn't know if it was that Cesar.
Like,
I figured that he'd be dead by now.
I thought that dude was dead.
He had to be dead.
Isn't it? Well, I mean, that might be a common name in Spain. Yeah. I don't really know.
Like Cesar Romero. Shit,
yeah,
he must be like a fucking 110 by now.
That's what he said. I mean, there was an old, like the paranormal investigator was like an old guy, but I was like, I didn't think he was that old.
I think Cesar was fucking in his 50s back in the 1960s.
I meant to look it up and I totally forgot. I did say you just saw it in the credits.
Yeah, he's got to be dead.
He's got to be. This just has to be another, or maybe it's his son, or it's something like that. I don't really know. But yeah, so I feel like they might be maybe gonna do like a Conjuring universe thing, like with this old guy who's like a paranormal investigator, and he has a daughter named Ruth, and she like kind of works with him sometimes, even though she's kind of a skeptic, although spoiler alert in this movie, that she's like, okay, ghosts exist. You're
Sophie
right.
said that Cesar Romero died in 94.
Yeah, I thought
it's
it had
not
been
the
like a
same one.
long time, so it can't be the same guy. Like, I don't know if he's related or...
Well, George Downs asked me how does Seagal feel about these movies.
I figured we'd have to go into the Steven Seagal thing. But yeah, if you have Netflix and you liked like Insidious, or you like other kind of Spanish movies, kind of like atmospheric, kind of like has a couple. I will say that there is a very upsetting scene in it. If you love the kitties.
Yeah.
I was really kind of bothered by that scene. But yeah, that was kind of horrifying. But yeah, so let's weigh in. Let's weigh in, Steven Seagal.
Oh, okay.
What do you have to say?
Well, the first movie was about ghosts. And of course, I like ghosts because it has to do with Eastern philosophies. The energy of chi. Energy is not destroyed, it just transfers into something else.
Mm.
So, of course, when I die, I'm going to be a ghost, same as everybody else. Except my ghost will be better than all your ghosts. My ghost will fuck your ghosts up. So that's why. So I kind of like the first one. It wasn't very serious though, and they were killing people. I don't like to kill people in my movies. I have other people kill people in my movies, like my stunt double. Second movie was all right, but it didn't have any explosions in it.
That's true.
And it needed a car chase. Hand me that Asian experience. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, now the one movie, I don't know if you were which order you were talking about them in,
Yeah.
but the one movie that the first one, the Spanish one that didn't have a car chase, it did, however, have like a really horrible car accident.
Yeah.
In which a woman gets impaled through the head with a tree branch. So
See, I don't like that kind of stuff.
So it had that going for it. Also, the ghost in it looked really, really creepy. I really, really liked the ghost that they had in it. But yeah, it was a cool ass movie.
Did you know that I'm an expert in shiatsu?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I find breast cancer lumps for free.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Do you have a business card?
I'll give you an inspection later.
Okay.
See if we can find some lumps.
Oh, man. I can't believe he actually did that. Did he seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, because more than one person has come out and said that he said that, right?
Every girl that met him fucking said that he offered to fucking help check her for breast cancer.
Oh my god.
With using shiatsu.
It's like the. He's so full to manipulate.
I think I found something in there.
I mean, shit, man. That's shit that drunk frat dudes at a bar are smart enough not to try. Because they'll get maced. Yeah. So the fact that he thought he could get away with that, oh my god.
Yeah.
Fourth throw down says Seagal has an Achilles butt.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
One of those wrestlers.
Achilles butt.
I forgot what his name was. Freddie something or other. Put him in a headlock. Put him in a sleeper hold. Knocked him out, evidently, and a turd slipped out of fucking Seagal.
I've heard that story too.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
Danny Boducci or whatever his name is.
Danny Bonaducci?
Danny Bonaducci. Some kind of fucking Guido name.
That was the guy. That was the kid that used to be on fucking. What fucking show was he on? The Partridge Family, right?
I think it was.
He was on the Partridge Family.
I think it's
and then he got older, and then he beat up a transsexual.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was somebody.
Right?
Somebody in the comment sections.
I can't remember what that whole thing was.
Somebody in the comment sections might remember who it was I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you left that oatmeal cream pie still over
yeah.
there. It's like he brought one
Can I have
time.
that, little Debbie?
One time, sure, Steve. Yeah, he brought that. Two of them in here one time when we were doing the main show, and he was really, really drunk. Yeah. And he brought two in here, and then he ate one, and then he never ate the other one, and it's still sitting there a week and a half later because I don't like oatmeal.
Yeah, do you guys remember who that was that fucking knocked Seagal out and a turd slipped out of him?
That wasn't Danny Bonaduce.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think.
It was
that was that
somebody-
other guy.
I fucking forgot his name.
I can't remember his name either. I think when
Yeah.
we did the Steven Seagal show, I did look
Yeah.
that up because I thought that story was really funny. And like
Yeah.
I remember somebody
Seagal-
telling that story like on
Seagal
Howard Stern or
denies it.
something.
Seagal denies
Well,
it.
of course
That
you're
didn't
gonna
happen.
deny it. Nobody wants to be the person that like pooped their pants in front of everybody.
He evidently, I can't remember what it was. He said he had a way to prevent himself from being knocked out in a chokehold or something like that. That he could resist it. That only like, you know.
Yeah, because
there's
of
a
course
way.
he had to go to like people that really
Yeah.
fight and was
Yeah.
like, oh, I have this, you know, secret, super
Yeah.
secret like method.
He
for
probably
not
thought he
getting
could just
knocked
tense
out.
his, he could tense his fucking throat.
In which
up.
case, everybody's just gonna be like, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
tense
I'm
his
signing
throat
up
up.
for this shit."
That's fucking funny.
And then they punch him and he poops his pants. That's just what happens,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah, nobody knows what it is. No, he wasn't a bodybuilder. I don't think. I think he was a wrestler.
I thought he was a wrestler.
He was
too.
a wrestler, and he was He was at the time. He was an old wrestler. He was being a
Yeah,
trainer
yeah,
at the time.
Yeah, it was an old guy.
At the time, he was training people for MMA.
Gene LaBelle.
Gene LaBelle.
There,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
that's him.
Thank
that's
you,
him.
Bee's Nest.
That's it. He was training. He was a trainer. He was training fucking MMA guys. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
at the time.
that's right.
But
That's
he was
right. I
an old
remember
guy.
now.
He
Yeah,
fucking
he's older.
Put Seagal in a headlock, fucking knocked him
Well,
out.
don't go around
and
to
turd
like
fell.
don't go around to some like fucking
Yeah.
wrestling trainer and be like, oh, I have a way to like keep him, because everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna put you right in that chokehold and we're gonna test that out.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, and then the fact that
Gene
the
LaBelle,
turd
that's
slipped
right.
out, that was just like icing on the cake, you know.
If that part really happened.
Like I said, allegedly.
LaBelle said
Allegedly.
that it happened. He said it happened, so he could smell it.
Well,
And then
I
he
would
fucking
believe
had to walk
Gene
out.
LaBelle before
Yeah.
I would believe Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
And like I said, Steven Seagal has more incentive to lie because nobody wants to be the person that pooped their pants in public, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you can't blame him for lying about it.
Yeah.
I'd probably lie about it too if it happened to me.
Gene LaBelle. He was talking about it on fucking Joe Rogan's show.
Yeah, I think I saw
Yeah.
that clip actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit went viral. So that's part of the reason why Seagal moved to Russia. Then and fucking trying to escape all those charges.
Well, everybody's probably gonna make fun of him over there
Yeah,
too.
he's got charges.
They have the internet over there too. It's like everybody's seen the same shit.
He met Putin, and he talked his way into meeting Putin, and fucking Putin's like, "Who is this dude?"
It's like, what
says,
is,
"But
get this
damn."
stinky fat dude out of my office.
Evidently, Putin was impressed with his ability to bullshit.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Mango says Seagal runs that way because the turtle is poking out of his ass. Yeah. Get that turtle head. You got to poke that
Shit,
back in
man.
there. That's like, you know what I mean? It's like when you're running to the bathroom and you
That's
don't think you're
fucking
going to make
funny.
it. Yeah.
I gotta end the show, man. I got a turkey in the
All
oven.
right. We got to go
People
get the
talking about
turkey out of
turds
the oven.
poking out of the turtles poking out of people's butt. Turds and shit. Turds and turkles fucking falling out.
Turtle turd.
Turkles. Call them turtles.
All right. So, yeah, we will find something to watch on Amazon
Damn.
Prime tonight probably. And we'll be
Probably see
back
Gemini
tomorrow.
Man.
We'll probably see Gemini Man because
Yeah.
I
wanted to
kept,
see that one.
yeah, I kept seeing the damn trailer and then we just never got around to watching it.
It bombed, but I don't think it's because it was a bad movie. I think it bombed because fucking that was the time when fucking COVID was starting to happen and fucking
Yeah.
movie theaters were all going out of business. I swear to God, you people, man, this is the fucking apocalypse. It's like the fucking, they're calling it the Great Reset. They got all these motherfuckers in funny ass clothes behind it over in Germany. Ex-Nazi motherfuckers resetting everything, and we ain't gonna be in the reset. They're trying to kill us, I think. They're definitely trying to kill me. They don't want dudes like me around. Fuck no, I'd stop them.
Okay.
Yeah, me and millions of other. We ain't gonna have this fucking shit where we just stay in a fucking bubble like. I'm getting sick of being in here, man. Fucking, we gotta have some cool shit to do. I'm in the fucking bubble like the Matrix. They're gonna put VR goggles on me, dope me up, give me some kind of fucking cyber job.
You got a cyber
I just
job.
sit around and get bed sores, living in a damn virtual reality. And the pod that I'm in is fucking being run by my body heat. And then they just fucking feed me IV shit. Just like on fucking The Matrix. And they say that shit's green, that's energy efficient. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, we'll see.
There you
All
go.
right, so we got to go eat some turkey because
Yeah.
I'm fucking starving.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going to end the show and then you just kept on talking.
Okay.
All right, so we will be back tomorrow to talk about another movie. So thanks everybody for dropping by. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see